You know I'm sad because you're not subscribing to my channel. But okay, let's enjoy the story. The Hyena's Bargain. In the heart of the great savannah, where the golden grass swayed like an endless ocean, there lived a man named Kwame. He was known for his cunning, a man who could outtalk the chief, outwit the merchants, and always find a way to gain more than he gave. But despite his cleverness, Kwame was never satisfied. He wanted more wealth, more power, more than anyone else in his village. One evening, as he sat by his fire, counting the few coins he had earned that day, he muttered to himself, "If only I had riches beyond measure, I would never have to work another day in my life." The wind carried his words into the dark night, and something in the shadows heard him. A deal with the hyena. As Kwame lay in his hut, drifting into sleep, a strange rustling came from outside. He stepped out and found himself face to face with a creature unlike any he had seen before. It was a hyena, taller than any man, its fur dark as midnight, and its yellow eyes burning like embers. "You seek wealth, do you not?" the hyena asked in a voice both deep and unsettling. Kwame hesitated. It was said that hyenas were tricksters, creatures that walked between the worlds of men and spirits. But his greed was stronger than his fear. "Yes," Kwame said, "more than anything." The hyena's grin widened, showing its sharp teeth. "Then we shall strike a bargain. I will grant you wealth beyond your wildest dreams. But in return, you must give me something as valuable." Kwame's mind raced. He had little to offer. No great herds, no land, no treasures. But he was a man of tricks. "I will give you my loyalty," Kwame said with a smirk, thinking himself clever. The hyena let out a low chuckle. "Your loyalty is worth nothing to me. I want something else. But you need not know what it is now. When the time comes, I will take my payment." Kwame hesitated but then nodded. What did it matter? He would be rich. That was all he cared about. The hyena breathed out a thick mist that surrounded Kwame, and when it cleared, his hut was filled with gold, fine cloth, and jewels fit for a king. The villagers were astounded. Overnight, Kwame had become the wealthiest man they had ever seen. The price of greed. With his newfound riches, Kwame no longer worked. He ate the finest foods, wore the most elegant robes, and looked down on those who had once been his equals. But one night, as he admired himself in a polished bronze mirror, a familiar voice echoed in his hut. "It is time to pay your debt, Kwame." Kwame turned sharply, and there stood the hyena, its eyes glowing in the dim firelight. "What do you mean? I have given you nothing. There is no debt." The hyena grinned. "Oh, but there is, and what I have taken is already gone." Kwame felt a chill crawl up his spine. What had he lost? His riches were still there. His home was untouched. Then he heard it, the voice of his mother calling his name. He rushed outside and found the villagers gathered in sorrow. His mother, who had always loved him despite his greed, had passed away in her sleep. The hyena spoke once more. "You never asked what I would take, Kwame. You only saw the gold. And so, I took what was truly precious." Kwame fell to his knees, weeping. His wealth suddenly felt worthless, his fine clothes heavy with regret. The lesson of the hyena. From that day on, Kwame changed. He gave away his riches, helping those in need. No longer did he chase wealth. He worked hard, not for gold, but for the love of his people. But on quiet nights, when the wind howled through the savannah, he could still hear the laughter of the hyena echoing in the dark.